we're back, baby. Death Roll's back. We got another adventure. Carlos is DMing this one. So why don't you tell us about what we're playing, and then we can bust into what our characters are today.
So today we're going to be playing Death in the Dark. A shadow hangs over the dark and dreary town of Squill. Townsfolk are being murdered in their beds without any explanation, and the local graveyard has become a dangerous, haunted place. Consumed by fear, the men and women of Squill have begun casting evil glances at a young orphan boy. The victims, it seems, all had links to the lonely child, and none of them were any good. A local priestess, however, wonders if the heart of darkness consuming the town lies in a necromancer slain nearby only a few months ago.
Okay, now is it metagaming that I picked the light domain?
No, not at all. You can
No?
put whatever. Just picking a cleric when you hear necromancer is
True. I don't metagame. I try not to metagame often. So this is why I was being a little careful.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
As long as you play because you think it's fun.
Yeah, I do think so. I've never played a cleric before.
Really?
Yeah, really.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah, there. I think it's good to mention that he is notorious for playing spellcasters. Is that true?
And not knowing how to
I mean,
play
I've been
them.
playing a sorcerer for God knows how long now.
2 or 3 years, I think.
Yeah, the same sorcerer. But I read the spell list I read the spells things carefully.
You said it right the first time.
I read the spell list carefully. I've got them all there. I got weapons. Channel Divinity. You ever
Did
use
you
that?
get your proficiencies squared away?
Yes, I did. They're bubbled in.
There you go.
And when playing that sorcerer, I forgot to add the proficiency bonus for that character. But we're good.
We know
I'm
what
all
we're
good.
doing.
You're all good?
We know what we're doing.
Yeah, now we're professionals. We look professional. So I'm playing this cleric. I'll just go into this guy now. His name is Silvertooth. He's a cleric. He's a wood elf. He's kind of got silverish hair, and he's on a holy pilgrimage from his following to go and, what is it? I think he's a follower of Lathander, is the light god. Is that right?
Why are you looking at me?
Can you help me? Is Lathander?
I feel like you should have researched
No,
that.
I know. I just forgot. I forgot the most important part about picking a cleric is to do the god thing. So, it's Lathander, right? The light god.
Sounds about right.
Okay.
Sounds
Yeah,
right,
he's a
yeah.
follower of Lathander. He's going out on a pilgrimage, just establish a kind of a following of Lathander.
What was the name again?
Silvertooth.
Silvertooth.
Yeah. And that's who I'm playing today. What about you guys? What are you playing?
I am the DM.
Yeah, you are. And
I'm
so
playing
far,
as-
hey,
playing
great
as
job.
Squall.
Yes, doing great. Absolutely. He's dressing the part too, I should add.
Is he?
Yeah, he's wearing clothes.
Let me check under the table. He's also wearing clothes under the table.
Yes.
Do you want to go first?
Sure. So my character for today is going to be just one name. There's no last name for this gentleman. It's the wise wizard Zaradir.
Okay.
He is. Are we talking about our physical
Yeah,
attributes?
sure.
Yeah. There's not much you can. Well, yeah. He's just an old man
On Medicare.
on Medicare. Much like myself. He's just an old man, visually very frail looking, white hair, long hair, slightly balding. He's got typical Merlin's beard, wearing a nice blue robe. And he's joined by another gentleman going into this adventure. Kyle, would you like to introduce your character?
So
They're
I'm
fucking-
playing as Z, the half-orc barbarian. He is, green, dark green skin color. His hair is medium to long, going over his shoulders. And you see him wearing pants, but no shirt, as you see. In the middle of his chest is a very large engraving, a carving of a rune, a magical rune, that almost seems to be pulsating.
Very nice. Very nice. All right. That's us all set. And I think we can jump into it.
So a little bit of backstory about Z and Zoradir's relationship. They met in a bit of an unfortunate situation. Kyle, would you like to explain Z's initial problem?
Yeah, so Z, as a young adventurer, he was going out with his companions to go solve a small issue of a cult in a local town. And while he was there, the cultists ended up being a lot more challenging than they had anticipated, and they had been, devastated and captured. And Z was the only one alive, and they were torturing him. And they at the time they had engraved this rune on him while he was being sacrificed. And just in the nick of time, Zoradir's and his group came into Zoradir.
Well, it was just me.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we weren't able to save. Zoradir wasn't able to save your entire party. Just Z. Zoradir's involvement with the cult was that he was essentially trying to study their actions, pretending to be part of the cult so that he could essentially steal some tribal knowledge from them. And he did gain a little bit because. Would you like to offer more detail regarding your scar?
So as far as Z is aware, every time his scar gets heals and scars, his wild magic nature becomes more and more unstable.
Nice.
And so every evening before going to bed, he needs Zoradir, someone who is more medically inclined or arcane inclined, to recarve out the rune that's on my chest.
To be more specific, this is more involved with the cult. This is something he received due to the cult's actions.
Right.
It was let's just say a battle scar. But Zoradir, gaining information and knowledge from this cult, also gained knowledge on how to slightly maintain, let's say, the
Right.
scar, though he's not entirely sure how it can be cured. Now, it's safe to say and assume that our essential goal here is to try to find some kind of cure for Z, if possible. That's for the DM to decide and for us to get to at some point.
Play with. Yeah.
Yes, let's see if it happens. Knowing
We're-
Kyle, you're
we're-
probably going to die within the first 2 minutes.
I never die.
Yeah, that's true. Very true.
We're also inclined to believe that this town does have a necromancer. There's known to be one, and so going to interact with this necromancer, this cult, might be a source of a solution for my problem.
Carlos, would it be good to mention our hooks related to that, or will you be going into detail?
I could go into the hooks.
Perfect.
So, sorry, Ethan, that you were kind of left out of this little section.
You're fine.
But, so, Z and Zoradir were just... They received a quest to slay the evil lich Mazargo, an evil necromancer who at the end of the day will play a big part in our adventure today, though no one knows it yet. They received a message from Kalara, the town's priest, asking them to help lift the blight hanging over the community. They would know that Kalara is a priest of Lathander.
Let's go.
And they received this quest, I would say, about a fortnight ago, as they were now going to the town of Squill to do their duties. And Z, curious about a necromancer to search for a cure, is also particularly invested in this. If anybody wants to add a little something, what would you say your hook be? Because Z and
Zoradir
would be traveling together on their way, and
Well, I'm on a holy pilgrimage, looking to establish, the good word of Lathander. So, I would, happily be passing through town, looking to spread the good word, and hearing that there is already kind of a establishing presence. There's already been a presence of Lathander here in this priestess. I would love to go meet up with her to talk shop, if you will.
So do we have a way that we know each other, or
So obviously Z and Zorandir would be traveling together.
Right.
I would say you guys would just be walking along, like let's say about 5 miles from town. You just happen, Z and Zorandir just happen to see Silvertooth just ambling, walking toward, like coming out of. How do you come out? Like,
Sure. Well, I would see you two, and I would say, "Hail, are you two headed for Squill as well?"
Sorry, remind me your race again?
A wood elf.
A wood elf. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, let me write that down real quick.
Yeah, I would say, "Hail, are you two going to Squill as well?" Hail, Lathander.
Oh, a wood elf. Pleasure to meet you, young one.
Thank you, and you, old man.
My name is Zoradir. Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
A pleasure. And who's your friend here?
I'm Z.
The burly-looking one.
He's very talkative, as you can see.
I'm Z.
That's good. And you've got that.
Don't touch it.
No, I wouldn't touch it, but it's a very curious-looking symbol upon your chest.
It's pretty dangerous. Trying to get it solved.
Well, I wish you luck. But you both are headed into town? Into Squill here?
Yes, we are.
Oh, beautiful. Can I accompany you? I'm headed to meet a priestess there, a follower of Lathander.
You said you are a follower of Lathander.
That's right. I'm on a pilgrimage to go spread his word, taking a quick little detour in town.
Are you by any chance going to meet the priest of the town, Coloran?
The priestess, yes.
The priestess? Excuse me.
Yes, the priestess. Yes, I heard word that there was already a little outcropping of Lathander followers in her, so I needed to touch base with her and talk to her.
That is very well the person we, too, are going to seek into the town. Perhaps we could collectively go and speak to her as a unit to perhaps ward off potential crime near us or
Are you
bandits.
Are you crime fighters?
No. I am not, but as you can see, I'm a frail old man, and I would like to avoid any possible confrontations. Despite having such a strong young man as Z,
Is he your ward or something?
we are simply friends. I am helping him.
Friends. Okay.
He helps me with this thing, as he points to his chest.
He helps you
Engraved.
with it. What's wrong with it? It just looks like a nasty little scar.
Well, it's something I got a couple months back, and well, I need help every day making sure it doesn't go out of control, basically.
I'm sure I'll find more about that problem that you have, but
Well,
why don't
I want all the help I can get, so
well, if with Lathander's blessing, maybe I can help you with it as well, if he deems that appropriate.
we'll see.
Very well. I'll find out more. But why don't we go meet our contacts in Squill?
So, this conversation took as you guys were walking. Eventually, you, let's say about half a mile from town, you see the surrounding area of Squill. You see it's a dingy little town. Not the biggest, not the smallest, and a little rundown. It is a damp and lonely place, squatting on the only properly dry land for miles about. To the north and south stretch fenlands and swamps, where you would assume locals would fish and grow whatever crops they can. So you guys reach, I would say, someone make me a, let's call it a can I see the skill page real quick?
I should have a D20, right?
Let's just call it a perception.
Usually, it's a
I
good
should have
idea.
one.
Am I good at that? Probably not.
Anybody or?
Perception. Ooh.
All right. First roll of the session, and that is going to be a 7 plus. Sorry, you said perception?
And keeping
Yeah.
on the tradition of last session.
Yep. Good rolls only.
That'll be a 9 from Zoradir.
So even though your eyes are starting to fail you in your old age, you could still plainly see that the gates are unmanned and left wide open. Not a single guard in sight. And in the distance, you hear shouting and raised voices They sound angry, coming further from inside the town.
I seem to hear some commotion about.
This doesn't seem like a very peaceful place.
It's rather quick to jump to confrontation upon directly arriving to this lovely little town.
There just doesn't seem to be a good vibe here. You know?
Seems like a fun place to me.
Well, let's hope you're right.
Yeah, why don't we go see what the commotion is down there?
So you all follow the sounds of the commotion. It looks to be coming from what looks to be a tavern. And from the sign you can see it's called the Log and Hatchet.
Oh, well, it's just regular tavern commotion.
No, there's a crowd
This is not just regular tavern commotion.
okay. The sound of shouting becomes louder and louder as you make your way through the narrow, twisting streets. The yells become more distinct as you draw closer, and you can make out the cries of "Burn the witch!" and "Send them out!" Turning the corner, you see a group of maybe 30 people gathered outside an inn marked with the sign of the Log and Hatchet. Of a Log and Hatchet. They look to be mostly human and are wearing the drab clothes of laborers and farmers. Several of them brandish pitchforks and axes, while a broad, stocky man at the front waves a burning torch. A group of nervous-looking guards in chainmail are making a half-hearted effort to keep the mob away from the inn. The only one showing any real determination is a woman with shining golden hair, who you would guess to be half-elven. She wears the white and yellow robes of a priest and is calling out at the mob, imploring them to return to their homes.
I'm nervous.
She looks like she needs help.
Someone make me a perception.
I would love to do that for you.
Perception?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a nat 20?
Yeah.
Nat
Oh.
20. Play the
what-
thing.
That's what that means. That's sun. It's a nat 20. That's very
So-
rare for me.
First roll.
Silvertooth,
Yes.
you clearly hear, "Bring out that boy, that Damon. We all know him to be evil. Step back, Kalara, and hand him over."
It's her. Our contact.
Oh, wonderful.
I have to step in and save her.
Well, be smart about it. Don't just go in, arms are flailing and yelling like the same people in there.
You're right.
Be civil and...
So as this is going on, you hear Kalara, Hatch, you know this not to be true. Damon is a sweet boy."
So, seeing all these people riled up, I would like to cast Calm Emotions upon this group for the 20-foot radius. So I'm hoping that'll get a lot of people. I think every creature has to make a charisma saving throw. So I don't know how many people are in here, but I'll throw that to you.
So there's
DM.
about 30-ish. I'll just make a definitive throw for everyone,
Okay.
and depending on how I roll, we'll see. These are commoners. So
And I believe they have
the
to
commoners.
save. I believe it's a 15.
15.
Yes.
So you cast your spell, calm emotions over the crowd, and the anger that was overtaking this, you see them just start to calm down. The hatchets are going down, the pitchforks are being put away, the torch is even going out by itself.
With that, I would start to get closer and start going toward everyone and say, "What's the meaning of this? How can we act like such barbarians?" Sorry, no offense, Z.
No, it's exactly how I would be interacting with them, so it makes sense.
So even though they're calm, they're still rational. They're just not as angry.
Right.
Hatch comes forward, the one that was yelling about bringing out Damon. You see his hands are stained black with soot. He carries a big hammer around, and a leather apron adorns him. He starts saying, "That boy, Damon. Last night, Klaus threw a glass at him while he was drunk. And this morning, they found him dead in an alleyway near his home. He's the 11th person to go missing or murdered after running into Damon over the past few months. That boy is evil, I say."
Well, 11 is quite a number, but surely he's just a boy, right?
So as you say this, Kalara steps in. And yes, I do admit strange things have been happening, but I know there's nothing wrong with the boy. I've spoken to him many times and searched his heart, and there is no evil lingering within him.
So you're saying that Klaus was killed by this little frail boy?
You do not see Damon.
Oh.
Oh, so Damon's not in the picture.
Not
They're
in-
all talking about him, but he's
Talking
not
about
there.
bringing
Yeah,
him out.
you would
I see.
assume that since they're converging around the log and hatchet, he
That he's
would
in
be
there.
inside.
Okay.
Gotcha.
But I know
Gotcha.
he's a boy.
Yes,
Okay.
they've been saying boy.
So it's that boy.
Wherever the boy is.
Seems pretty pathetic to me.
How could you say that? He's just a sweet boy.
No, not about the boy. I'm saying the guy who threw the thing at the boy and then died.
And then you hear, what's,
Pathetic of him.
Got killed by a boy.
Hatch just,
We don't know he was killed by the boy.
even though Klaus was a drunkard, he never meant no real harm. But that boy is evil.
Usually when I throw things at people, I mean harm.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't really think that Klaus is innocent in all this.
So as
Even
you're
if the
having
boy
this
killed him.
conversation
Served
with
him right.
Hatch, Kalara, and yourself, you see the crowd starting to lose their fervor there after it being calmed,
Mhm.
and they just don't want to be there anymore. They've lost their, I would say their
Their
purpose,
chutzpah.
their chutzpah,
Right.
and you see Hatch is the only one that's being really confrontative about this. You hear some mumbling like, "I don't like Klaus anyways," and
Mhm.
they just start dispersing.
Wow.
Okay. Well,
Real
with
party pooper.
Hatch still there.
it's better to have a calm mob than an angry mob, right?
So they started leaving the mob.
Most of the mob. The only ones that remain is Hatch from the original mob.
So now that that's the case, Zoradir now approaches. Now that it seems to be clear and safe.
cat. Old man.
You be careful.
Full diaper.
If I was that size.
You seem to have a lot of accusations. Any proof, perhaps?
It was as clear as day. Everyone saw that Klaus threw the glass at the boy. And the next day, he just shows up dead in an alleyway near his house? I don't think there's a coincidence.
Drunk, dead in an alleyway. I think there's a pretty logical connection there that we can make.
And then Kalara steps in. But he's just a boy. There's no way
Exactly.
he could kill a grown man, drunk or not.
I want to meet this boy. He seems very strong.
Let's have a quick conversation with the child. I'm sure it'll be harmless.
I will allow you all in, but Hatch has to go. I see he has ill intentions.
Hatch has to go. Oh,
Yeah,
Hatch
the-
has. Did a marquee. Hatch has to leave. You mean?
Yes.
Very well.
All right, Hatch, take a hike.
Z,
And
can
who are you to tell me what to do?
Yeah, Z, can you handle
Good, nice to meet you.
Hatch here?
I'm Z.
He's stunned by his just your bluntness. And Hatch the Smith.
Yes. We take a hike.
Why?
We don't want you here.
But I want to be here.
Zoradir? I like this guy.
Well, but we're 4, and you're 1. And
One.
Frankly, I could
I
take
have
you on.
I have the whole town behind me. As he turns around, he's like, oh.
I think you should listen to Z.
You should go
I see your point.
meet your town.
And he just grumbles away and he's like, fucking bitch. And it's just everyone, adventurers don't shit. As he just storms away.
So as he walks off, I would love to go up to Kalara and talk to her and say, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Ah,
A
yes.
A fellow follower of Lathander.
Yes. The moment I saw you, I knew you followed my lord.
Thank you. Thank you. My devotion is
Now-
quite strong.
I must introduce myself properly. I am Kalara Sweetblade, local priestess of this town Squill.
Sweet Blade is right.
And who might you all be?
I'm Silvertooth. I'm on a pilgrimage to spread his good word, and just wanted to stop here and touch base with you when I ran into these two fine fellows.
My name is Zoradir, and I am here with my companion Z. We are here to
Hi.
we are responding to a request of assistance against a necromancer. Are you familiar with this? I believe we need to speak with you regarding it.
Ah, the necromancer. I see you received my message.
Yes.
That is, while it was a pressing matter, I believe this current incident takes precedence. I will explain more once inside. Please follow me.
Of course.
So we walk inside.
She leads you inside.
As we walk in, Zordir would be the last one walking in. He gives a quick look at Hatch
This hatch that's leaving?
as he's leaving.
Okay.
He goes, and stay out! And he closes the door. Smashes it as hard as he can, which is actually like very hard at all.